Hello, beautiful students. It's me, Mr. Felix again, and I am here to show you a tutorial on how to make a sticker using Adobe Illustrator and our Cricut vinyl plotting machines. So a vinyl plotter is simply a machine that cuts vinyl, and they come in lots of different sizes, from big to small. The ones we have at the school are, we have two big ones and three small ones, right? And these machines will cut vinyl, and they basically are really good at making stickers for like stickers and graphics for cars and street signs, computers, different things, right? They're also really good at using something called HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl. Heat transfer vinyl is able to go onto t-shirts and adhere to it using heat, which is our two options for today's assignment, right? Uh, in this assignment, you will see a link to a Google Drive. The Google Drive is this Mario Kart Google Drive. The reason I'm linking this is because I want you to try to make one of these designs first, because they are already thinking in terms of stickers, right? Whereas if I were to get a design maybe like this, these designs have way too much going on, right? They have lots of colors, gradients, they have texture. Um, when we're working with these sticker machines, we have to be thinking like, okay, I'm making like a street sign, or I'm making like a three-color sticker, right? Anything past four or five starts getting into like, it's not impossible. It's just it'll take too longer than I'm sure you want to spend. I would suggest trying to look through this folder to find something that you think would look funny or cool, or just something to practice with. Something that would be good is like this shine sprite, or this happy face as Bowser Jr.'s thing. This one is actually incredibly easy. It's already basically done for you. Um, you're gonna be using vinyl, which is like that roll of film. It's a sticker. So when you decide to do your sticker, you can make it any color. Like I can make this black and white, or red and green, or whatever. It just depends on the material that you use. So for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do three color, but this will work with any of them. And some of them, like this one, yeah, I don't know how I would do that green stem, but this would be a three color design. Um, I am going to be making, I think there's a cool sticker down here. I saw it the other day when I was looking through them. Once I get really far down here, like you can see this one has shading. I didn't go through these to make sure that they're good for stickers. So you have to be thinking in like shapes, or like flat color, basically. Anything with shading, anything with texture, anything with kind of, you know, not flat colors isn't going to show as well as something with flat colors. There is obviously a lot of photos also. I think Mario Kart World has over 1,000. Yeah, now we're talking. I wanted to do this guy, and we could do any of these guys. I just really like this cow. I think he's dope. I think he's really cool, really fun. Um, I, but I did it last. Okay, obviously, I already shot this video one time, and it didn't go great because my sister came over, and then I had to stop the video. So let's try this one. I'm gonna download it. I already downloaded it the first time. Blah, blah, blah. Cancel. Download. Cool. We're downloaded. Now we're gonna go into Adobe Illustrator, and we're gonna click New File. In New File, we're gonna determine how big our sticker is. You can do a 6x6 sticker. You can do a 5x5 sticker. You can do any sticker size that you want. Um, Try to keep it smaller than 6x6 for this first one, because obviously we're gonna have more opportunities to do this. We're going to create that, and my thing's going to lag, and here it is. To place an image into Illustrator is really big deal, right? Um, you can go to File, you can go to Place, Control Shift P. However, I'm constantly putting in images in Illustrator, so the way I would do it would be Control Shift P, right? If I just click Control Shift P, I got that memorized too. It just opens it up and it's faster than I need it to be. Cool. So I put it on the side here because we're going to use that as reference. Here we could see our design and it is heavily pixelated. This is an issue because our machine that we're going to be using doesn't read pixels, it reads vectors, right? And vectors, again, are those equations that the machine will pick up on and read. So what we need to do in here is either we go in and we trace it using all of the tools in Illustrator, or we do what we're going to do today, we're going to image trace it. So we're going to go here, convert image into tracing object. And if I click default, you're going to see here, there's nothing that shows up. If you have a black and white image, it should work. Here's where we have to go into our properties menu to open the trace panel, and you can switch this in order to get the image that you want. You see here, I have a black and white version of this, but my thing is in color, and it's not going to really work with black and white. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click custom, the preset, and I'll choose 3 colors. And it looks kind of okay, pretty close. There's some spots like his nose, like really weird. And I don't like that. So if we click onto advanced, we can see this path tool, corners tool, and noise tool. Path is how simple are the shapes in it or how complicated they are. This if they're too complicated, they're going to be like all jaggedy and stuff. I don't understand why that happens. It's trying to read the pixels. And if it's too simple, it's going to lose details. So you just play around with this until you find something that you're happy with. I'm looking at his nose ring and this area right here and trying to find something decent. Uh, less path. I think less path looks better. Okay. And then the corners, you can see here, I can make it more corners or less corners. And a good show of that is this little line right here. Less corners makes it smoother. More corners makes it more angular, right? I'm going to use less corners because this image is already really rounded. And noise. Noise is kind of a little hard to explain. Basically, it's picking up on pixel density. How many pixels are in that little space? If you turn this down really low and really high, it's looking for a big mound of pixels. So these eyes don't show up because there's not enough pixels there. And we lose a lot of detail like that, except for the places where the pixel density is really high. We go lower, you can see it might be picking up things that we wanted to pick up, but I don't know how to explain it too well. And then you can just play around with this until you're happy with it. I'm really looking right here and here because those are the parts it's having problems with. And, I like the thin mouth here. I think this is as good as I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to click ignore color. The reason I can ignore any color by using the eyedropper tool. So I try that. But the reason I was ignoring this white color is because if I cut out this design, well, I don't have to cut out the white because the orange cuts this out too. So I'll just print the orange twice. One time I will keep the middle and print it on white, and one time on orange. And that way I'll have this white shape. I don't really need to have that third color. It just makes things more complicated. And then when I'm ready, just like in text, I'm going to click expand. And that's going to take our image into a path. And you can tell it's path. Hello? All right. Sorry, my thing died. And you can tell it's fast because after you click control, you'll see all these things pop up. I'm going to move my image trace panel right here. That way I never lose it and I can always get to it very easily and it has its place on my keyboard. I suggest you do the same thing. All right, and now you see this is grouped and it is clear and basically it's ready to send to the Cricut printer, right? Uh, your um, your Cricut Maker is going to be a Maker 3 or a Maker Explore 3. I actually have to put sound on or else my headphones are going to die. Or they're just going to turn off. Uh, Japanese song. Whatever. I don't care what I'm listening to. I just need something in the background. All right, cool. So our thing is going to be a Cricut Maker 3 or Cricut thing. Blah, blah, blah. And your Mac Launchpad looks different than mine. If I go here and I look at this one, this is more like what your image is going to look like on your computers. You're going to click this and it'll bring up all the apps and then you're going to search Cricut. I can search Cricut as well, just with a C, it comes out Cricut Design Space. And it opens up and I'm already logged in, but you will have to sign in. I suggest to not use a school account, use your personal account because if you use your school account, then when you graduate, everything that you made on here will be deleted. And if you use your personal account, then all your files will get saved. All right. And you can see here, I can set up a cutting machine, set up a heat press, or find the right machine for me. Um, it's pretty easy to set up a cutting machine. I don't have one here at home, but all you do is click Maker 3 or Explore 3. Those are the two that we have at school. Click through that and then click Bluetooth. But because I don't have one here, I'm just going to skip this step. All right, cool. Also, it will ask you to do a example project, but you could skip that too. And then you're going to click on New Project. Under New Project, we are making a vinyl decal, and there's all this other stuff. I always design from scratch though, because let's say I wanted, instead of it being a vinyl decal, I wanted to make an iron-on shirt. Uh, it's just easier for me because I know what I'm doing, I guess. All right, and then it shows you here a bunch of different designs that people have already made, and you can see that people are paying for these. 99 cents. I've seen up to $10 for a design. But since we don't need that, you can click this, and now we have our design space, and we can click upload. We're gonna upload our design. To send this to the printer, we have to go to File, Export, Export As, and then export it as an SVG. I already have mine exported as sticker.svg, but yours will automatically be on PDF or something else, and you need it to be an SVG. That's because SVG is scalable vector graphic, and it will be able to communicate with all 5 of the machines at Redsdale, not just 1 or 2, which is really awesome for us. So we'll click on Cricut, we'll upload our thing. I uploaded mine, but just to show you, sticker.svg, continue, sticker, give it a name if you need a name, and then you can tell it where to save. I'm saving mine to Mario Kart World, even though I already did that. Upload, and now we have our image here. Um, Annoying. Oop, cool. And now I'm here, and when I'm happy with how it looks, um, in Design Space, you can use the same things that we did in the other class where we have stars and we can put text in. But because we can do that also on Illustrator and we can do more with it, I figure we should just do that. If you're using heat transfer vinyl, you're gonna want to okay. If you're using heat transfer vinyl, you're gonna want to okay. You're gonna want to I think it's flip or mirror. Yeah, you're gonna want to mirror it, and the way it's gonna happen is when you click make, there'll be a little button right here that says mirror. It's pretty easy. Also, if your design isn't grouped, like my design at the beginning when I had it earlier, it was grouped. And if you can click on the little eyes and move them, or Yeah, if you can click on the eyes and they move by themselves, what you're gonna want to do is highlight all the stuff and then click attach. It might change the color of your thing, but that's fine. You can just cut this out of all three colors that you need, or just uh, double click on the one thing, separate that, and then highlight. Yeah, mine are grouped, so it's a little hard. But you'll highlight the things that you want to print, and then you'll attach them together. If not, Cricut does this weird thing where it tries to save you material, and it will print them all in the most what like the most convenient way possible. It'll print like the A and the T. If it's leathers, it'll print it all out of order, and then you have to like assemble it yourself. If you print it like this, everything will stay where it's supposed to be, and then you don't have to assemble it yourself after the fact, right? There is a couple steps on make, but I can't really show them because I don't have a printer at my house. But you're gonna click make. You're gonna select material, and the material that we're gonna be using is removable matless vinyl. And removable matless vinyl just means that we don't it. Yeah, it just that's the material that we use. It's basically vinyl that doesn't have like a really thick backing. If you buy material straight from Cricut, I think you can use Smart Cricut Cut, and you don't have to use a mat. But because we don't have that, we have just vinyl. We're going to be using vinylless mats, and then you're going to actually grab a vinyl mat, Cricut. They look like this, and you're going to want to attach your design in this corner and this corner. And if you actually look in Cricut, it tells you how big this is going to be. My image is 4x4, so I really only need a 4x4 sheet of vinyl. So I'll cut that out of the vinyl roll. I'll attach it to my mat, and then I'll send it through the printer, through the vinyl cutter. And then after that, it's simply about doing it for the other colors that we need. We need one white, we need one orange, and we need one blue if we want to follow the colors. Additionally, if you don't want to do that, you can choose any color you want, and the cow could be black, and this could be green or whatever you want. And then it's just about sending the things to cut. So it's not too hard. Yeah, I think this is what I was talking about, where it shows everything kind of weird. Yeah. Uh, well, if you have any other questions or comments, let somebody around you know. It might not work the first time, but talk to the people around you, see what's going well, see what's not going well, and we can all figure it out. If you have any questions, give it all a try, and we'll figure out what problems we encounter when we are making these designs. All right, thanks. Have a good day.